4, 3, 2, 1, 0. Party 180 ignition and liftoff. Mach 1.
What is it? It's probably a spaceship, man. What the hell is it? What the hell? How is there physical light being just lit up on this part right here?
Incredible. Look at that. Wow. I don't know if you can
That
see
we can. That is awesome.
I can tell you, I grew up here in Cocoa Beach, and I've never seen something like we're seeing right now. It's really phenomenal.
Fire tornado, or fire-nado, was created when lightning struck a Jim Beam warehouse in Kentucky, and 800,000 gallons of bourbon spilled into a retention pond and went up in flames.
Quando cazzo finisce? Madonna mia. Ancora cazzo.
Surf lifesaver was bitten by a great white shark on the mid-north coast.
He'd just been knocked off his surf ski and bitten on the ankle by a great white shark.
This is the first time in 92 years.
How the hell did that happen? It totally had a tail on it. That orange thing in the sky, it's there. Wow.
Upscale beach in California where a hammerhead shark attacked a kayaker.
Just 1 week after a great white reportedly chewed off a chunk of this surfer's board in San Luis Obispo.
Oh my gosh.
And 300 miles down the coast, kayakers capturing this close encounter with a hammerhead on camera in La Jolla, California. Across the country along North Carolina's Outer Banks, 8 swimmers bitten by sharks just this summer.
This is video out of Saudi Arabia, and this is from the unprecedented sandstorm that has been literally blowing through the Middle East. Look at this video. It is dark, and that is actually daytime. This has really halted things. In Syria, this has actually stopped fighting for a day or two.
Another day of intense downpours and oppressive heat across parts of Southern California. Rain was coming down in sheets.
Crazy weather that we had here yesterday. There was a remarkable lightning show.
Heavy rain triggered this mudslide in Agua Dulce.
It sounded like a hurricane swept through.
I couldn't see about 5 feet in front of my face from all the rain and the hail.
Mystery in Modesto after a large chunk of ice falls from the sky and lands on a home.
I mean, it sounded so loud, so it must have been traveling pretty fast. A big old ball of ice, about bigger than a basketball. And I watched it go down, and it went off like a bomb.
It landed just a few doors down, slamming straight into this roof on Ackerman Way and onto the bumper of this car.
This is what happens when it rains so hard and so down a little amount of time here. Look at the waves. This is unbelievable.
California is in the middle of a firestorm. 13 wildfires are raging across the state. More than 500,000 acres up in smoke.
The latest fire, the so-called Valley Fire, has forced more than 17,000 from their homes in Napa and Lake County.
It moved at speeds few have ever seen before. In hours, the Valley Fire becoming the most destructive blaze in California this year.
This fire just moved like a runaway train.
It's just utter chaos. There's nothing like it.
It broke out at 1:30 Saturday afternoon and grew from 50 acres to 400 to 10,000 to 40,000 in just 17 hours. All in an area near Clear Lake that had already been ravaged by 2 large wildfires this summer, and 150 miles from a fire that until Saturday was the biggest concern in the state.
We had to drive through the fire on both sides of the road. It was really scary. Fire everywhere, and all of houses, our neighbors' houses, friends' houses, everybody's houses are burning up. It's awful.
The hardest hit was Middletown.
Everything behind the gas station is gone. The school's gone. The store's gone.
Thousands of fish lay dead at what used to be Mountain Meadows Reservoir, also known as Walker Lake, popular fishing hole just west of Susanville.
Everywhere that you see that's wet, it was water.
Residents say people were fishing on the lake last Saturday, but it drained like a bathtub overnight, and by Sunday there was this.
16 dead as flash floods sweep through Utah.
There goes the van! Oh my goodness! Oh dear, it went over the thing! Oh no!
Over 2 inches of rain fell in just a short period of time, swelling the creek and sending a wall of water sweeping through the town of Hilldale, killing 12 people. Just 20 miles north of there, in Zion National Park, 4 people died and 3 hikers remain missing.
The Hilldale mayor just says that this is the worst storm he's seen in his lifetime. They say that those floodwaters washed those cars more than a quarter mile downstream.
It will go down as the deadliest weather day.
One's damaged mostly by flying debris. 3 people are injured. The 2 who lived in this house severely burned. Last month, dozens of guests at this motel near Seattle barely escaped when a natural gas explosion ripped off the side of the building. And dash cam catching this New Jersey home blowing up earlier this year.
Campers have described the terrifying speed in which a sinkhole on Queensland's Sunshine Coast swallowed up vehicles and caravans. Estimated to be the size of a football field, the sinkhole at Inskip Point near Rainbow Beach opened up yesterday morning.
It sounded like a thunder noise.
This is the second sinkhole to form in the area in 4 years.
Months ago, the picturesque Russian city of Solikamsk had a bit of a hole. Now they've got a much bigger problem, 120 metres of it to be precise. The sinkhole's grown to claim a few unoccupied holiday homes and is reaching towards the nearby forest.
People have been killed and 27 more are still missing after record rains forced rivers to burst their banks. Twice the usual amount of rain for September fell in just 48 hours. Those rescued by helicopter crews say the flooding was so quick there was no time to escape. More than 100,000 people were evacuated from Chachigi and Ibaraki.
At least 62 people have been killed by a crane which fell onto the Grand Mosque in Saudi Arabia in Mecca.
Thunderstorm that popped up right here over Mecca. Very strong thunderstorm, something that would be pretty rare for the Middle East. They only average around 5 millimeters of rainfall for the entire month of September.
Atención, tsunami, evacuar, tsunami, evacuar a zona de seguridad.
This is a live documentary.
Oh no! Oh my God!
Rain in Maine. Cars up to their gas caps. A storm system is whipping up scenes just like this, all the way from Florida to New England. It's likely to get worse with Hurricane Joaquin now threatening the East Coast.
Sheets of driving rain pummeled the Northeast Wednesday. A half foot of rain fell in some areas. It came down in buckets, almost literally. The streets of downtown Portland, Maine flooded dramatically, though the waters quickly receded.
This is insane. It's unbelievable.
The system, which drenched coastal Alabama and Florida over the weekend and hit Virginia and the mid-Atlantic yesterday, has now pretty much moved into Canada. Hurricane Joaquin next week could bring much more serious flooding.